Reasons for New Zealand to raise the voting age to 21. While some argue that 16-year-olds deserve a voice in elections because they are affected by the same global issues as older generations, the reality is that both 16 and 18-year-olds lack the experience, the knowledge, and the maturity necessary to cast an educated vote. Rather than lowering the voting age in New Zealand, as attempted by the crazy Green Party, the voting age should be raised to at least 21 years of age, or even older, but, for the sake of peace and unity, I'll stay with 21 for the time being. Young residents under the age of 21 have not yet acquired the experiences necessary to make informed judgments based on logical reasoning, and as such, are typically unable to evaluate a coherent ideological preference, nor have they developed the mental resilience to withstand outside manipulation. In essence, their minds are still green, hence their susceptibility to being duped by word salad parties like the crazy New Zealand Green Party, and MPs like Chloe Swarbrick. The younger generations, like Gen Z, iGen, or Centennials, have grown extremely skilled and extremely addicted to using internet social media, much more than most older adults, or their parents and teachers. This excessive constant engagement with social media exposes younger people to ideological predators who play into their insecurities, gullibility, curiosity, and the inclination to defy convention. For example, Just Stop Oil, or even closer to home, the crazy New Zealand Green Party, and to some extent, also the Te Pāti Maori Party. Increasing the voting age to 21 years of age would allow more time for Gen Z people to mature from naive high schoolers to young adults with more practical real-world experience and knowledge. Not only will this result in more educated and experienced votes, but it will also allow young adults to thoroughly consider how their views have evolved. The crazy far left love the idea of lowering the voting age to 16, because they erroneously think it would give them a permanent electoral advantage. Sorry, this won't do. If we were discussing this issue with any semblance of rationality, we would be debating raising the voting age, not cutting it. When do we stop being children? There is evidence that, developmentally at least, we now become adults at a later stage. In 2013, guidance for psychologists was updated to acknowledge that adolescence effectively ends at 25, not 18. We used to think that the brain was fully developed by early teenagerhood. But now we know that the brain doesn't stop developing until the mid-20s or even early 30s. If you accept that the voting age is the societal consensus put into law of when we consider an individual to be fully adult, then it should be going up not down. Raising the voting age limit at 21 would prevent a significant chunk of voters from distorting the final outcome, thus protecting democracy from its greatest adversary, which is excessive democracy. The majority of 16-year-olds are just not mature or responsible enough to have the vote, and it is at this age that teenagers are at their most rebellious and negative stage, a time when they are keener on making a statement than acting responsibly. Rebellion against their parents' taste in music and their rules is one thing. Let's not make that part of the democratic process by which our government is elected. Maturity rates in teenagers differ tremendously, both in terms of the ability to think through an argument logically and in terms of the ability to understand cause and effect and to take responsibility for their own actions. Some 16-year-olds look and act as if they are in their 20s. Others are still childlike and unable to take on responsibility or act independently. Protect our teenagers. Let's raise the voting age to 21 years of age. Thank you for listening. Geraint, on behalf of WhangareiTim.